Hello fellow football connoisseurs, welcome back to the Quick Take. We have a lot of news to get into today. Of course, I'm just going to go straight into it. No nonsense. Here we go. Ruben Amorim and Liverpool never had any agreement done/sealed. Talks took place as candidate on club's list, but it wasn't agreed. West Ham approached Amorim as called by David Ornstein. Nothing done, agreed. Also in this case, contacts with LFC in standby at this stage. Of course, after losing out to Xabi Alonso announced he was going to stay at Bayer Leverkusen. They turned their attention to Ruben Amorim, but now it does look like Ruben Amorim is staying at, not staying, but it does look like Liverpool will not be going after Ruben Amorim anymore. Who will they be going after next? I think I saw a report that Jose Mourinho was at Craven Cottage for the Liverpool-Fulham game. Maybe it's Mourinho, but we do have the David Ornstein report here, exclusive. West Ham in talks over ambitious move for Ruben Amorim if David Moyes goes. Julian Lopetegui also assessed, but Amorim currently top target. West Ham said to appeal, but unclear whether they sit among 39-year-olds options. Liverpool looks unlikely at the Athletic FC. Very interesting news, of course. Ruben Amorim, one of the top targets for most clubs looking for a manager this summer. He's done brilliant with Sporting. He did fairly well with Braga beforehand. He's certainly one of the hottest young prospects in the manager market at the moment, along with the likes of, as I said, Xabi Alonso, Julian Nagelsmann, those kind of names there. Ruben Amorim does find himself among those coaches. Would I take him at Chelsea? 100% yes. I think he is an upgrade on what we have currently, and I think he'd do quite well with this group of players. I think he'd get I think he would get a lot out of the likes of Moises Caicedo, out of the likes of Enzo Fernandez, and hey ho, even maybe if we bring him in, we might look at bringing in Victor Gyökeres, who is obviously having an unreal season. I think already over 50 goals and assists this season, over 40 goals and assists, something crazy like that. Unbelievable season for the Swedish striker, but we move on. Of course, Liverpool now missing out on Ruben Amorim. Who will be their next manager? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We are not wasting time on this video. No. We have this from Fabrizio Romano. Thiago Silva is leaving Chelsea Football Club. I think we all knew this was coming. Thiago Silva, of course, coming up to the age of he's not 70 years old. Coming up to the age of 40 now. He's given us all for the club, and it doesn't look like it's going in a very nice direction. There was a report, I think Fabrizio Romano here mentioned, he rejected proposals in January to stay at Chelsea and help Chelsea until the very end, which is, what more can you want from an absolute professional like Thiago Silva? He has done so well to keep his body in the shape and keep himself as available as he has for Chelsea. Again, he's 38, 39, nearly 40 years old, and he's still, look at him. He looks about 25. He has done so well to keep his body in good health and provide as much for his team as possible. And since coming in, I thought he may only be here for a season or two when we signed him on that free deal during that crazy summer window when we had all those players coming in. But out of all the names that came in, maybe it is Thiago Silva who has been the most influential regarding Chelsea's recent success. Of course, we haven't had success in 2 years, but in terms of our ability to still compete and be as defensively solid as we have been in the games in which we have been defensively solid, I think Thiago Silva can hold his hand up and say that was me and hold his head high. Again, Chelsea's league position, I don't think that has anything to do, it doesn't reflect Thiago Silva as a person, and him leaving at the end of the season, of course, we will be looking at centre-backs. I have seen rumours, in fact, we have it here, that coming in from Vince, that Chelsea will be encouraging bids for Benoit Badiashile this season. Very interesting news report there, of course. Thiago Silva leaving, Benoit Badiashile leaving, Alfie Gilchrist going out on loan. Chelsea will be signing a centre-back, but who will it be? Will it be one or will it be two? Will it be Diomande, Antonio Silva, Lenny Yoro? There's loads of big names out there, loads of young prospects, loads of maybe even more experienced names out there. You could go for a Bastoni, you could go for a Ronald Araujo from Barcelona, who is apparently, now on the transfer list. Reportedly, he has now been made a transferable target coming out of Barcelona. Beforehand, it was hands off, but now he is available. We could go for him. We could also go for Bastoni from Inter Milan. I quite like Bastoni. There are lots of options for Chelsea to go and target, but I think that we really need to bring in a top level centre back. I think bringing in young prospects like Antonio Silva, like Diomande, there's a time and a place. I think they're both brilliant players, but at this moment in time, when you're losing a player like like Thiago Silva, an absolute professional, one of the most experienced player in this side, then you have to replace it with experience. You can't regress even further into young, unexperienced prospects. You just can't do that, especially when you need a solid defensive foundation in order to, find consistency in the league, keep goals at the back of the net. Thiago Silva, what a legend for Chelsea. He will go down as a club legend, in my opinion. He hasn't been here for 10 years, but that doesn't matter. His impact, his love he's shown for the club, his support he's shown for the club, and every time he was on the pitch, you knew he was going to give 110%. So thank you so much for all your time. Thank you so much for all your hard work, Thiago Silva. Please go to Brazil, play out your last few years as a professional at Fluminense, and retire a happy man with a legacy to be proud to look back on. Thank you so much, Thiago Silva. We move on to news regarding Cole Palmer. Now, of course, Cole Palmer, Chelsea's player of the season. I've even called him player of the year. And it does look like in Chelsea's game against Arsenal, which is tomorrow at 8 o'clock, he will be unavailable through illness. Chelsea confirmed Cole Palmer is ill and a doubt for Arsenal. Ben Chilwell and Malo Gusto are both undergoing medical assessment. Leslie Ugochukwu has returned to partial team training, so it looks like Chelsea will be without Cole Palmer, will be without our, one of our better players in Malo Gusto. We'll have Cucurella starting at left back most likely, and then Axel Disasi starting at right back against a hungry Arsenal side who are still in a title race. Of course, it is basically Man City's to lose now, but they will be fighting tooth and nail like any club would be in that situation. Chelsea, of course, going away to the Emirates. It'll be a very tough game for Chelsea, and we'll see what the results are tomorrow. Obviously, I cannot predict the future. We also had an update regarding Maurizio Pochettino. Now, this is not a good update for anybody who wants a happy future. There's a strong chance Pochettino stays. The owners will look at data, including expected points and big chances created, as well as league form in the second half of the season. Fans may point to games like Burnley at home and Sheffield United away, but Chelsea owners will try to be as dispassionate as possible when reviewing Pochettino. This means they will decide what's best without letting emotion cloud their judgment. Of course, we all know that sacking Pochettino would be once again egg on the face of Bedad Egbali, on the face of Paul Winstanley, and on the face of Lawrence Stewart. It would be under their watch that they hired an underperforming manager who had shown he struggled working at a top club at PSG, and had, although, some may say that he had brought a lot of good things out of that Tottenham side, when you actually look at the trophy cabinet at the end of his tenure, it was rather light. And when you're at Chelsea Football Club, a club that has been one of the most successful institutions in the past 2 decades in English football, your success is based on trophies. We have hired a manager who is known for lacking trophy-winning ability. Unbelievable. Players have regressed under Pochettino. Some players have improved. Malo Gusto has improved. Conor Gallagher has improved. But Colwell's regressed. He was far better at Brighton than he's been at Chelsea. Caicedo's regressed. Arguably, I'd say he was more comfortable and he was performing at a higher level at Brighton than he has been at Chelsea. I'm not saying he's been bad. I actually think he's been very good. I think he's had a lot of unfair criticism this season for reasons that aren't his fault, meaning the price tag. But you cannot tell me that he has got the best out of this £200 million plus midfield out of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. No. To me, I think he's been a disgrace this season, and I'm just going to go through Chelsea's upcoming games just to show how unlikely it is that Chelsea get European football. We are currently in 9th place, 3 points away from Conference League football. I've gone over this. I don't think Conference League football is good enough for Chelsea, but hey-ho, that's what the owners want. Any sort of European football, any sort of validation to say, hey, look, no, he got European football. Look, no, we can't sack him. He got European football. Look how amazing he is. We should be winning the league on XG. Look, Arsenal, we got Arsenal next, then Aston Villa. Then after Aston Villa, we've got Tottenham at home, we've got West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Brighton away, and then Bournemouth at home. We are not getting top 6. Clip me up at the end of the season when we get top 6, but we are not getting top 6. And then we have this, the final kick in the teeth. It is understood Chelsea's owners have seen Arsenal's All or Nothing documentary and are aware of the pressure Arteta was under in his first season and how loved he is now. Perhaps they feel Poch can follow a similar path. Arteta did win the FA Cup though. Exactly. He actually won silverware. He actually had credit in the bank. Also, he's an ex-player. Pochettino is an ex-Spurs coach. They say they don't want to judge him using emotion, but at the same time, they're going under how much Arteta is loved at Arsenal now. Isn't love an emotion? They're going over how emotions change regarding managers, but also they don't want to look at emotion when deciding the future of Mauricio Pochettino. So what is it? Do you want to look at this from an emotional standpoint? Or do you want to look at this from a logical standpoint? Arteta even came out today. He was asked a question about the Cole Palmer injury situation. And he said something along the lines of, listen, Chelsea's injuries are not under our control. We have no control over which players are available for them. And then I think the reporter asked him a question regarding the comparisons made between Poch in his early seasons and Arteta. And even Arteta said, you cannot compare us. We are in completely different situations as clubs. And I completely agree with Arteta here. We are two completely different clubs. Arsenal haven't been as successful since the invincible seasons as Chelsea. I think we can all agree with that. 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, absolutely incredible European success, league titles here, there, and everywhere, FA Cups, League Cups. You cannot compare us, right? In terms of success in the past 2 decades, you cannot compare us. Pochettino has also been a manager for what, 10 years now? That was Arteta's first real proper job. I mean, come on. Pochettino isn't some ex-footballer who's just taken over a club for the first time. He's managed Southampton, he's managed Spurs in the Premier League for many years, he's managed PSG, and now he's managed Chelsea. And we're at Chelsea, still mid-table and most likely going to miss out on European football again. But hey-ho, we're top 4 in XG, guys. Hey guys, we're top 4 in XG. Look how many shots on target we have. Bear in mind, I'd like to remind you that Chelsea could have been in a slightly better position if we had made a decision in the summer market to bring in Dusan Vlahovic. And I know what you're going to say, Dusan Vlahovic finishes a lot of chances Nicholas Jackson has missed this season. And it also would mean that Nicholas Jackson would not be the focal point for all of Chelsea's attacks this season, and he'd be able to operate better on the left, and all the focus would not be on Nicholas Jackson missing these chances. We would have more goal-scoring opportunity with Dusan Vlahovic. For 40 million euros, a fair price for a player of his ability, of his stature, and his experience, whilst also getting rid of Romelu Lukaku permanently and not having to worry about missing out on a loan spot. That loan spot could have been used on David Washington, who he brought in for what, 15, 20 million euros? El Presidente. Rotting away on the bench, putting up graphics before every game, because Pochettino gives him the slightest bit of hope at the beginning of every game that, hey, you might make a 10-second cameo. What kind of development is that? He should be on loan. He should be in France. He should be in the Championship. He should be in Spain. He should be in Italy. He should be in Germany. He should be in the Netherlands. He should be literally anywhere other than sitting on the bench doing nothing. Because that's a waste. That's a waste of a year in his development. He should have stayed in Brazil. We should have just loaned him back to Santos. And it was Poch that turned down Vlahovic, said, no, I don't want him. And now we're stuck with just one striker, Nicholas Jackson, because Broyers went on loan. The whole situation is stupid. I'm very annoyed, as you can tell. These owners are stupid, they're ridiculous, the board is ridiculous, and they're shifting the goalposts in order to fit their own narrative. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I've been The Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.